What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac is in the Nitro Cave, and looks like we got some serious next level wrenching in the engine room. So, first off, you've seen one of the videos. I don't know if you have or haven't. There's another one. Shitty videos. Sorry, first off, I want to apologize for my crappy video work. I think sometimes, especially because I haven't ran my stuff in a while, when you get too excited, you kind of forget about the, filming and make sure you got it pointing the right direction and all that. So I need to get me one of those Go Cams. Hopefully I'll get one of those soon. Anyway, by the time you see this video, my last video, I'm not going to apologize for what I said, because I'm just keeping it real. I just get, there's a few things, obviously that I had to get off my chest. A lot of people have just, checked out of Nitro, 8th scale Nitro, and 5th scale. I haven't seen anybody doing anything. Yeah, I know, the weather's, it is what it is. What are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you what I do, is we probably got about we probably at least a foot of rain this week. This weekend happened to be killer weather, 70 degrees. Hey, that's one of the perks of living on the West Coast. It's the reason I chose not to live back east. I've been there, done that. I've lived in Texas. I've been in, I've been in Salt Lake City, Utah, where they get 20 feet of snow during the wintertime. I've been in Shreveport, Louisiana. I've been in Idaho. I've been in Omaha, Nebraska. I've been all over the place, And I know that if you're going to live in those areas, man, choose your hobby wisely. Okay? I don't think I'd take up kite flying, if I lived in Oregon, because it rains 9 months out of the year. So, anyway, a lot of people, I'm not bagging on people that, because of where you live. I just, I know people that live back east where it snows and it rains all the time and it hails and it's icy. You know what? They still run their shit, okay? And I know there is people running their shit back east in the terrible conditions, 20 degrees weather, whatever. They're just too lazy to upload their videos. Just like people are too lazy to run in that weather because they don't want to clean, they don't want to tear up their shit, and they don't want to have to clean it. To each his own. If you'd rather just sit out this one and not run your shit for months because the weather's not going to get any better. If it's okay with you just to not do anything but just put your tail between your legs or take up E-word or do some rock crawling or whatever you're going to do, I don't care. I don't do my videos for ratings. I don't care if you subscribe, unsubscribe. Matter of fact, you can do me a favor and unsubscribe, because I don't do these videos to entertain people. I do these videos to share with others the passion and the fun and all that 8th scale Nitro consists of, if you do it the right way. But if you're lazy and you just don't want to clean your shit, then why are you even doing this in the first place? Maybe some people just want to throw away their money. I can think of other things to throw your, that if this wasn't something that I want to put 110% into, I wouldn't do it. I don't, like I said before, I don't see having thousands of dollars worth of shit sitting around and never running it. or, because let the weather dictate what I do. Now, sure, if it's snowing, like I said, hailing, if it's pouring out rain, you can't run your shit. But just because of the weather, that's not an excuse in my book. You know what I mean? And I'm just keeping it real. Sure, some people might get butthurt. Sure, people might take things the wrong way. Hey, credit due where credit's due. I give credit due where it's credit due, but I also give criticism where criticism is due. And nitro, we can't afford to take our foot off the gas in 8-scale nitro because it's struggling as it is. So what do? We shut down during the wintertime? No. Freaking get a shovel, get on some rain boots. I went out today. Sure, it wasn't raining, but it was pretty nasty out there. Have you seen the grass was a foot high? I couldn't even run through some of that grass. I got stuck in some of it. I had to go bail my shit out just because it was just a foot. I can't run in a foot high of grass, you know what I mean? So I did what I could do. It's still gonna rain again. There's more rain coming. I'm gonna do some more brapping. Matter of fact, next on deck is the MBX 5R, my sick looking buggy here. That I'm just getting prepared. The modified reds by RB Mods. Shout out to Rick. Hey, Rick runs his shit, and he runs freaking gas airplanes in the snow, man. He puts skis on them and shit. I think I mentioned that, but I talk to Rick periodically, and he said it's colder than shit back there, but that doesn't stop him from breaking in motors and modifying motors in freezing temperatures. Even though he's inside his warehouse breaking in motors, he said it's still a challenge because it's so cold inside no matter what. I mean, so if he can, then why can't we? Sorry about that. Charging my glow starters up. But anyway, yeah, and then there's guys, at least they do videos. Like, shout out to Roger111, my brother, Nitro brother from another mother. At least, I know where he's at. The weather's shitty there, but at least he's doing some videos. Do something. You know what I mean? Contribute to 8-scale nitro. There's too many people, I think, and I know that, and this is a fact, there's so many people out there, they're just watching. All you do is watch. You make your dumb little comments or whatever, or people don't even, they don't even run nothing. They don't show no videos of them running because they're too lazy to do videos, let alone, if the weather's that bad, they're definitely not running their shit because they don't want to clean nothing. You know what I mean? I ran this thing today. I cleaned it really, really well. I haven't torn it down yet, and look, it's still, look at that. Look at all the dirt and gravel and shit that's in there. This thing is getting torn down. Pulling off the rear end, tailing it down, pulling off the front end. Gonna go through my diffs, look at my diff oil, see how it's looking. If you look on this side, this is what's already clean. The twins are chilling right here. The twin boys, modified 28.8, stock 28.8. The stock one is gonna go back in the muggy. Matter of fact, we're gonna put a hold on the reds and the Mugen, even though that's next up on deck, and we're gonna break the dust out of the muggy. Muggy needs to get out. So, like I said, I give my whips equal time. Next up, and then coming up after the buggy will be the Techno, and the Techno hasn't had the pico through it. So shout out to Elite. Elite. At least he's doing some videos. I mean, the guys that aren't running, at least they're doing some videos. All these other guys that they're doing videos, they're doing E-words, and there's people that are getting into rock crawling. I don't care about rock crawling. Here, I showed you my rock crawling. Nitro rock crawling. So I had somebody asked me a question. What's my take on the pico, modified pico, that I am tearing down? I told you guys I was going to tear it apart. I haven't looked inside of it. Compared to the Novarossi Rex Legend 28.8. So we're going to go inside the Muggy Maniacs modified Pico, and I'm going to let you take a peek at it. Let's take a peek at the Pico. Zah! So let me tell you, the Pico is, as far as running wise, it has similar pull and torque of the Novarossi 28.8 modified. Is it better motor quality wise? The Novarossi still has the Pico beat. Although, you know, looking at the Pico, the quality of it, here I'll show you. This is my my sleeve. Nice work, by the way, by Rick. But yeah, this thing, I've got about a gallon through it, almost, pretty much getting close to about it, around a gallon through it so far. So, and it's, like I said, these Italian motors, Pico, the Reds, the Novarossis, you got to get at least 2 gallons of fuel through these things to really see the true performance that they have. Just how the motors are. I mean, like I said, that's not just coming from me, that's coming from Rick at RB Mods. He said the same thing. He said, you know, these Italian motors, you know, you got to get at least 2 gallons of fuel through them till they're nice and seated and good to go. But yeah, you can see, you know, LRP tore up ports. I mean, this is quality right here, people. This is it. This is the sleeve of a modified 28 Pico. Piston. This is about the normal wear that you want on a piston. If you see that little gray area, this little gray space right here, it'll get a little bit thinner because I'm running it rich right now. I mean, as I lean it out a little bit, you don't want it much thinner than that, but just around a little bit thinner. It doesn't have a lot of carbon buildup. I want to get more carbon buildup on it, so I'm going to run it. I'm continuing to run it a lot richer. Carbon's good because you'd rather have the carbon. That way, if the motor gets too hot, the carbon's going to burn off and not the aluminum. So, carbon is good. There's not too much. That's about normal. I mean, there's the rod. Nothing special. I mean, still the quality is there. I mean, obviously it's Italian Pico. There you go. The Novarossi is a little bit better, and still the Reds has got both of them beat. As far as Italian motors, just the craftsmanship and the machining of the Reds is really hard to beat. Too bad they don't make a bigger motor. Now the crank I was looking at, you know, there you go, and you go. You got Rick's tattoo right there. Let me focus that in. Come on, camera. Now I noticed, you can see this is where Rick did his machining on the crank. See those right here? These cranks, these Pico cranks, have this kind of a, it's not copper, but it's almost like a copper, like a bronze finish on it. It's pretty clean. Now I notice on this one, compared to the Reds and the Novarossis that he modified of mine, there's no filler in the crank. Now I believe that's because some cranks you don't really need to fill because of the way they're already kind of ported or machined or whatever you want to call it. If you see that in there. This damn camera doesn't want to focus, but zah. So this doesn't have any filler in it, but you could see the work that he did here. where he milled this out. Now when I check, this is, like I said, a gallon of fuel running through it, rich. I mean, running, you know, pretty rich. I mean, look at the button head and the plug. That's how you want it to look. Like you want it to be like a bronze color. You don't want it black or really dark, and you don't want it no color, like just aluminum color, because then you're running too lean. This is about normal. Pretty clean. Now I don't know what the millimeter shims are in here. Picos come with 3 shims. I think Rick was saying that after a gallon, after break-in and everything, to take one out. So, and I've asked a couple people and did some research, and they recommend after you break in these Pico P3 .28s, which is what this is. Decent head's decent, nothing too crazy, you know. It's alright. You want to remove one shim. Now I don't know if they're all the same millimeters. I'll have to measure them. If they are, then which I'm pretty sure they are. Everybody, and including Rick, recommends that you remove one shim. Which basically will give it a little bit more top end. It has top end, not a lot. It has a lot of punch, a lot of mid pull. This thing pulls the front end of my truggy up. I mean, it's a pretty nasty motor. I'm really happy with it, and I just want to continue to run more fuel in it. There's the bearings. Always check your bearings. Roll your finger. Make sure. I'm gonna 3-in-1 this whole bad boy here, but there's a look inside the top of the cylinder head. There's the exhaust port. There's the back. Front bearing. Carburetor's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm thinking of trying a Novorossi carburetor on this thing too. Novorossi carburetors, there's nothing compares. This carburetor's decent though. But just the Novorossi carburetors, I think that's another big difference in Novorossi compared to this motor is Novorossi carburetors, they tune so easily, and they just stay tuned. Most other motors like this one and the Reg, you know, you gotta make a little adjustments here and there, but nothing big. There again, there's Rick's tattoo right there. Rick Brakes. So, yeah, I mean, and the difference also, too, is the Rex and this are both 28s, but this is a 7-port, and the Rex is an 8-port. Now, let me explain the difference. Now, an 8-port, if you know anything about porting, the 8-port, the difference in this is the 7-port, anything 7-ported, will, once it hits the top, its top end, it'll kind of stay, or kind of maybe drop off just a little bit. The Rex Legend 28.8, that 8-port, keeps it so after when you hit top end, it doesn't drop off, and it actually kind of just stays steady. 7-ports drop off a little bit after top end. But other than that, the motors are running very, very strong. This has a lot of torque, which I was really surprised. It has even more torque, in my opinion, than a, I don't know about a modified, but I know a stock LRP .32. So the next one I need to compare them, which is, you know, the biggest of them all, the big boy. Not the best quality, but the bigger motor is the LRP .32. The new ones, which I'm in no hurry to get that one modified. I'm in no hurry to get any more modifieds. I'm still going to continue to break in and dial in this Pico here. Another look at the head there. RB mods. You know, so, and, you know, continue to break in the Reds. .21 R5 Team Edition. And, still my favorite, the 28.8 Rex Legends. Okay, now, I got some wrenching to do, so that's all. I mean, you guys will see my other videos, like, hey, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm not going to hold any punches. I don't expect anybody. If you want to criticize me, long as it's facts, then go ahead. You know, I just get tired of, you know, people saying one thing and doing another thing, or, you know, like I said, don't let your mouth write checks that your ass can't cash. If you're gonna talk about it, be about it. You know, don't just, this isn't something that I don't think should be seasonal. For some people it is, not for me. The Nitro Cave and my 8-scale nitro hobby and running and wrenching and all that doesn't stop because of the weather. Sure, it's been a week since I ran, man, and that's enough for me. I'm glad, man. I don't care. I was about ready to wrap my radio in plastic, you know, as long as it wasn't raining too hard, and get out there and run. I just can't. I don't see how people can go a month, 2 months, or whatever, and not run their nitro. I don't know. Maybe I'm just so sick in the head and such a nitro fiend that I need my fix. I need to get out and do my brapping, wrenching, and all this other stuff that goes along with it. That's not all it is. It's seeing the fruits of your labor, running your shit, and seeing, you know, where you either did well in tuning it and maintaining it, or you didn't do well. I do have a battery issue. It's switches. I'm no longer going to run, and I don't recommend running an on and off switch. Maybe I might try those lipo switch little button things, but I don't have a lipo, so, but I mean, it works the same way. I just rather run my batteries and all my shit directly into the receiver. It seems like on this FlySky FSIT4 whatever, it doesn't like the switch thing. I'm having an issue with it. I'm not sure what it is. I just rather not try to deal with it, and I'd rather, even if I have to pull off my little cover, plug my battery directly into my servo and then unplug it every time I run it. Little bit of inconvenience, but I don't care. I don't want to have switch issues, and when your switch goes out, your nitro will run away from you. So started to do that a little bit today, and I caught it once, and I was like, okay, but it didn't do it right away. It didn't do it till after I ran it, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and the power wanted to cut off. I don't know why it was doing that, but anyway, I'm just gonna eliminate the switch, and I'm gonna go directly from the battery directly into my servo. Less room for error. So anyway, that's all I got, people. Enough of my babbling. Muggy Maniac, we'll see you. Let's see, I think hopefully tomorrow I'm going to get out there and we're going to run the XTN Mammoth ST Muggy out there with the stock 28.8, which is still, for stock, is still a badass. That thing's a lot of fun, and we'll see what happens. But that's all I got. Peace out, people.